Court's decision to ban sale of liquor within 500 meters of national and state highways have left the hotel industry sulking. We reached out to the top bosses of Hilton, ITC Hotels and Mahindra Holidays. ITC's Deepak Haksar feels that the ban will have an adverse impact on India's tourism sector. Arun Mahindra, on the other hand, does not see the liquor ban impacting their business as such. He, however, has slammed the ban as unfortunate, but the CEO of Hilton Hotel says that the impact of the Supreme Court's liquor order will be limited.
We respect the Supreme Court verdict. I don't think we have any, I would like to comment on that. I think the association, the Hotel Association, the FAITH, which is the umbrella body where all the associations there, the Hotel Association India, the FHRI, they all have made representation to the government, and there are genuine concerns on the issue that it has a larger ramification on tourism, and I think the interpretation of that must be made in the right manner so that a relief can be given to the various hotels and restaurants. So we are working in that direction. We have sought certain clarification, and I do believe that the government as well as the state governments are working with us very closely to find solutions to that. So I believe that this is a blip, but I do believe that there are solutions in the site.
We are a resort hotel, so we are not on highways. So that way we are fortunate. We are fortunate. I think people who will be worst affected are, to my knowledge, the Gurgaon and the Aerocity area.
Correct.
And in what we call heritage tourism places. I don't think it will affect the Goa, because we are not, as I said, we are resorts, so we are never, as principle, we are never on the highway.
Yeah, no, it is obviously very recent. I read about it as I was flying over a couple of days ago, so we're still trying to, assess the impact from the standpoint of our business. We think, in terms of our hotels being within that radius, it's very limited impact. But, I think time will tell. As an overarching matter, I think the underpinning of what they're trying to accomplish is a good thing, which is the safety and security of Indian people. So I applaud that effort. I think exactly how you do that, my guess is, as a consequence of the ruling, over the coming weeks, more likely months and years, I think there's likely going to be some review and adjustments to it to make sure that while keeping people safe and secure is a good and noble thing to do, that, to make sure that there aren't unintended consequences. But the truth is, it's not for me as an American flying in for a week in India on this recent news without the benefit of having really done a lot of thinking and research on it to judge it. Again, I think.
So you are clarifying that this ruling will not alter your expansion plans in the country? This
ruling will not alter our expansion program in India. We are very committed to India in the long term. Hilton has a long history in India, but a relatively small presence in India given the scale. We have 5,000 hotels in the world. With 1.2+ billion people here. We only have 16 hotels up and operating. We have another 18 in our pipeline. I'd say in the next 5 to 10 years, we want to have 100 hotels.
Hilton is present in India with 5 key brands. Would you look at bringing any of your other brands in your global portfolio, which has about 14, to India? Could we look at Waldorf Astoria, or probably a Canopy or a Tapestry?
Yeah. I think what we want to do is get those 5 right. I mean, it's not unusual. I think the big opportunities for us are really always to start with the core Hilton flag, because that's the most recognized hotel brand in the world. We also want to have luxury. India is a great luxury market, but it's a relatively limited luxury market.
Correct.
We will ultimately, I think, have Waldorf Astoria here. Will ultimately, like everywhere else in the world, be the bulk of our growth. If you think about numbers of hotels, will be in the mid-market. And our big engines of growth in the mid-market all around the world are Hilton Garden Inn and Hampton by Hilton. Product and service to our customers.
So all the hotels that would be coming up in India would be management contracts?
Would be management contracts or franchise.
What kind of implications do you think GST could have on the hospitality and tourism sector in India? Your thoughts as a global leader?
I think it's quite positive. Quite positive in a couple of very simple ways. One, having a consistent approach across the entire country is very good, and having transparency is very good.